I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me. No, we're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all. We should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back. Starting from scratch, I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not, because I still believe you're my gravity. You will never be what I expected. Different frequencies, that's why we ain't connected. You know I will make it through, I got nothing to lose but you. It's true you're so far away, and it's true I can feel the same. It's another day, you know you want me to stay, but I go my way. I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not, because I still believe you're my gravity. You're my gravity. You're calling out my name, but the echo numbs your pain. Sorry, but more than just a shadow, I'm more than just a man. You don't care how I feel, you don't know how I feel. No, you don't know how. I wash away the sorrow till my heart can beat again. You're my gravity. No, you're my gravity. I will let you go. The only thing that I know, you were my gravity, but now I had to leave. I will let you go. Why do you think that I want? Why do you think that I want? I know how to breathe into my gravity. 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 I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me. No, we're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all. We should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back. Starting from scratch, I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not.
Warning: the Duracell Cup Series data file you have attempted to access is out of date. Uploading current file now.
It's a brand new car from stem to stern, and it's never been raced at these speeds.
The next gen car is opportunity.
Everything is different with the exception of like the seat, the steering wheel, and your helmet.
Unknown creates excitement.
Talking about my generation.
And good afternoon, race fans. Welcome here as we get set for our final road course stop of the season. This is race number 21, more importantly, playoff race number 1 for season 2 of the NNSCRA Duracell Ultra Lite series. As today we get set for pole day qualifying in preparation for the beginning of the postseason for the very first time here in the Lights series. Remember last season there was no playoff system. It was basically whoever accumulated the most points at the conclusion of the season was your eventual champion. Now 10 drivers after a couple of weeks ago at Auto Club have locked themselves into the 7 points paying and 3 wild card playoff positions, and they begin the road now in 7 races to be the second ever Light Series champion. Doubleheader here this week. First playoff race for the Light side. Later on, the end of this weekend, will be the second playoff race for the Cup side, as it extended 15 minutes here in qualifying, since it is indeed a road course here at Road America, to see who is going to start on the front row. Track position is going to be very, very important here for this first playoff race, so guarantee you the 10 playoff drivers have that objective, I guess you could say, circled as priority number 1 here this afternoon. And obviously as well, for drivers that may not do as well on the speed charts that would start mid-pack to rear of the field, they will be relying tomorrow afternoon on pit strategy to get them up to the front. Remember here in the Light Series, as far as the playoffs are concerned, that it is 7 races. It is 3 rounds in total. The first round, 3 races, and we would then whittle the field down to our final 7. Another 3 races, and we would have our final 4. So 3 drivers get eliminated at the conclusion of 3 races. First round, Road America, Nashville Superspeedway, and Dover. Second round with our remaining 7, Arizona Speedway, Daytona, and Rockingham. And then, of course, our final 4 battle it out in our double-header finale weekend at Michigan. We'll keep an eye on all our playoff contenders. We'll also go through the field and document each one of the drivers that will be battling for the title here in Season 2, as we look at the 71 of Aubrey Powell out of Haas Racing. Aubrey Powell, a former winner from Pocono this season, got into the playoffs, I believe was one of the drivers that got in through a wild card position. With having that 1 victory, Aubrey Powell is currently in a 5-way tie for 4th position. Based off of average finish, she comes into this in the 7th seed of the 10 drivers. Roberto Crown Jr., he is the standalone overall points leader here, as, of course, garnered those 15 bonus points for winning the regular season championship. Add on 2 victories this season at Sonoma and Hanford, and that gave him a total of 25 bonus points coming into this one, 15 points over his next competitor. Not a guarantee, that he is locked into the next round, but those bonus points certainly increase his chances of advancing into the round of 7. How about Juan Garcia? Garcia was headed into that regular season finale at Auto Club in a wild card spot, and he went out and picked up a second victory in that entry out of Trackhouse Racing. Because of that, Juan Garcia effectively went from what would have been the 7th or 8th seed now to the 3rd seed, the only other driver besides Roberto Crown Jr., Cam Wright Jr., with multiple wins on the season. 15 points out of the points lead, but a lot of momentum, being the most recent winner here in the Lite Series. Cam Wright Jr., incredible season during the regular season, was the first driver to go to victory lane multiple times and did it fairly quickly, winning at North Wilkesboro and Darlington. Those 2 victories carry him into the playoffs in the number 2 seed. And he is looking to have just as good a playoffs as he did a regular season. We're still waiting for lap times to score in on the board here, as everybody right now is currently on their up-to-speed laps. I believe a few drivers are actually on their money laps right now. Colin Grace right now is in the 4th seed, the highest of the one-time winners based off of an 11.7 average finishing position in the first 20 races. Colin Grace, a former winner at Hillside, had a very consistent second half of the regular season, was for a time mathematically in the hunt to take the regular season championship. Was in a good battle there with Roberto Crown Jr. and Cam Wright Jr. down the home stretch. A second entry out of Haas Racing, who has two drivers battling for this title. I believe that it is 3 drivers out of Trackhouse Racing that are battling for the championship. And keep an eye on this driver, Skylar Taylor. Taylor was able to get up into the top 10 in the point standings, and or top 7 in the point standings, should say. Our winner from the season opener at Daytona, was a multi-time winner last season and is the only Mazda with a shot at the championship here this season. Autumn Brooks was looking like she could possibly be in the hunt, but a DNF back at Auto Club lost her enough spots that she fell out of a wild card position. Lap times are now starting to scroll in here, despite the fact that we have already used up nearly half of our allotted 15 minutes. So you will start to see those scrolling on the top of your screen. Autumn Brooks, I believe that we just mentioned, is currently the fastest. Cody Majorek in the 70 car, one of 2 Joanna Atwood Motorsports drivers that will be battling for the championship this season. Majorek, a former winner back at Iowa. He comes into this race based off average finish in the 6th seed of the playoffs. Jack Mitchell, a couple of Cup Series regulars, going to be participating here this week as we look for our next playoff contender. And there's one of them, Kyle Langland. Langland, one of 2 drivers that pointed their way into the playoffs, have yet to go to victory lane here this season. Because of that, Langland is 9th seed coming into this one, and is already starting 25 points out of the points lead in the playoff system. Right now, 8th fastest on the board for the driver out of World NOS Racing. And there's the second entry out of Joanna Atwood Motorsports that will be battling for the championship, Jordan Anderson. Anderson, a former winner this season back at I-69 Speedway. And Anderson comes into the playoffs in the number 5 seed. There's the second driver that pointed his way in to the playoffs without a victory, Eli Bright. Much the same like Kyle Langland, comes into this first race of the playoffs 25 points out of the points lead. But let's also remember that Eli Bright was a strong contender back at Sonoma. And he also, if I recall correctly, was pretty competitive back at Watkins Glen. So if you're looking at one of our playoff drivers that really could be a jump to the forefront contender for winning this first playoff race, I think you'd have to look in the direction of the Sunny D Toyota Supra. believe there's just one more driver we have not covered that is a playoff contender. No, actually, we've covered them all. So now let's jump up to the 60 of Autumn Brooks, who last time scoring had as the fastest driver on track. There she is. A 2:20.570. Right now, Mazda is currently on the front row as Skylar Taylor, playoff contender, sits in second at a 2:28.30. So there is nearly 0.3 of a second difference. As soon as I say that, the Mazdas are broken up. A Toyota jumps up to second on the board with Reggie Fogelman at a 2:20.763. Still about 2.5 tenths off of Autumn Brooks' lap time. And you look at a lot of drivers that are just on the outside looking in as far as the playoffs were concerned. Autumn Brooks, David Dixon, Michael Turner, all former winners. Now for those drivers, they're just looking to finish out the season with as many checkered flags as possible here. Finish out the season on a high note. I believe that Autumn Brooks is one of a number of drivers that is going to be trying to qualify in here tomorrow afternoon in the Go or Go Home qualifying session on the Cup side. I believe we have 8 total drivers vying for 2 positions in that one. Of course, that qualifying session will be taking place at 1 tomorrow afternoon, with the Lite Series race to follow a couple hours later at 3. Looks like all 31 of the drivers that are participating here this weekend on the Lite side have turned a lap time. And right now, this is where your playoff contenders are currently scored. Skylar Taylor is the highest in 3rd. Cam Wright Jr. in 4th. Colin Grace is in 9th. Kyle Langland 11th. Roberta Crown Jr. is 16th. Cody Majorek 18th. Juan Garcia 19th. Jordan Anderson 20th. Eli Bright all the way back in 22nd, with Aubrey Powell in 27th position, the lowest of the playoff contenders. Talked about with it being a road course, track position is important. And we're starting to see that, especially in the lap times. A few, what was it, that 4, I believe, playoff drivers up inside of the top 10. 1, 2, no, only 3 up inside of the top 10 right now, all in the top 9. But right now, the highest being Taylor in 3rd. Well, I'm sorry, 2 days from today, on Sunday, will be the second playoff race on the Cup Series side, and a number of Cup Series regulars taking part in the Lites race this weekend. Reggie Fogelman that we're looking at right now, currently second fastest on the board. Daniel Voiles, Anthony McCrory, Jack Mitchell, all in this field. In terms of Lights drivers trying to participate for the Cup race here tomorrow, I believe that Langland, Ralph Mason, Mike Tellier, and Autumn Brooks are all looking to attempt the double here this weekend. Anthony right now 17th of the drivers that I named off there as far as participating here in the Lights race. For those that are actually battling for the championship, 3 that we will have to keep a pretty close eye on are Reggie Fogelman, Daniel Voiles, and Jack Mitchell. So we will have to keep an eye on how they do here in the Lights race and see if that translates over to their success on the Cup side. Of course, last week in the first race of the season on the Cup side at Gateway, we had a non-playoff contender go to victory lane with Eric Monaco, the former Light Series champion, going to victory lane, 3rd full-time rookie to do so. So that pretty much denied any playoff driver from locking themselves into the round of 12. Oh, Dylan Young is also, I forgot he was another Cup Series driver participating this weekend in the 16 out of the All-Star car for Bishop Family Racing. I mentioned about Eli Brighton. His numbers at the road courses this season was really, really good. Top 10 run at Sonoma, top 10 run at Watkins Glen, 23rd on the board right now, though. Second lowest of the playoff contenders. So this is going to be an interesting one to see if they've got a good long run car that's able to make some passes, I guess. It's Jordan Anderson right now in 21st. Kyle Langland is 12th. Mike Tellier, we'll see him here tomorrow afternoon attempting to qualify the Bishop Family Racing Cup car at Road America. Nathan Stapleton there, Cole Coybe, Michael Turner, all former winners this season, but weren't high enough in points for those wins to count towards wildcard positions. Same for Wes McCoy, 6th fastest right now for him. There's Ralph Mason, 8th fastest currently for that driver, as he'll be attempting to qualify for the Cup race here tomorrow. A couple of teammates out of Adrenaline Motorsports nose to tail right there with Dave Smith in the 15, team owner Jack Mitchell, who's in the Cup Series playoffs. Right now, 7th fastest for him. Dave is 25th. Majoric on pit road. With zeros about to hit here on the clock, Skylar Taylor looks like he is going to be the fastest of the playoff drivers and will start 3rd here tomorrow in the same row with Cam Wright Jr. But it's going to be Autumn Brooks who will be leading us to the green flag. Defending winner from Watkins Glen, the last road course stop. Autumn looking for back-to-back road course victories here en route to her 2nd career victory in the Lite Series. 2:20.507, the lap time she put down. I believe that was on her first official lap. So that says to me that, at least on the Cup side here tomorrow afternoon, and of course in the Lights and Cup Series races respectively, tire wear is going to come into play. So we will definitely be talking about the advantage of the undercut when it comes to potential cycles of green flag pit stops. I mean, Autumn that last time by was running nearly 3 seconds slower than the lap she put down. That is going to garner her this pole position. Autumn Brooks going to pick up her 2nd pole of her Light Series career with this one. A little bit longer of a extended time past the zeros hitting on the clock there, with it being a road course. Some drivers were actually on a lap time, and so NNSCRA officials going to allow them to finish that out. Takes a little less than 2.5 minutes to complete a lap here around Road America. But to remind everybody here of what's taking place this weekend, tomorrow at 1, Cup Series qualifying. Duracell Ultra Light Series begin the playoffs, their first race of the postseason tomorrow afternoon at 3, and then Sunday, 2nd playoff race for the Cup Series drivers at 1, all times Eastern. Still waiting on the officials here to give us the word that session is officially concluded. But I don't think, with what you see there on the speeds scrolling the top of your screen, I don't think you're going to see anybody last minute jump up to the top of the board. So Autumn Brooks and Reggie Fogelman are going to be your front row here for tomorrow afternoon's race. Skylar Taylor and Cam Wright Jr. going to be your highest starting playoff drivers in row number 2. Something kind of jumped out to me is Reggie Fogelman, Daniel Voiles, Jack Mitchell, all in the top 10, the top 7 even. Those are all Cup Series playoff drivers. Getting some extra reps here this weekend on the light side, as there is the conclusion of the session. And this is the way they are going to be led to green here tomorrow afternoon. No challenge for the 2:20.5 laid down by Autumn Brooks. Over 2.5 tenths of a second faster than Reggie Fogelman. Taylor, Cam Wright Jr., good starting track position for those playoff contenders. And Daniel Voiles going to complete the top 5. Wes McCoy will start 6th, Jack Mitchell 7th, Ralph Mason, Colin Grace, and Chris Dullerton the top 10. So only 3 playoff drivers will even start up inside of the top 9. And then you got Kyle Langland back in 12th. Roberta Crown Jr., points leader, back in 16th. Majoric 18th. Garcia 20th. Anderson 21st. Bright all the way back in 23rd. Aubrey Powell in 27th. And that is the lowest of your playoff drivers for tomorrow afternoon's race. Well, Autumn Brooks is certainly hoping that her second pole will translate to her second win on a road course as she clocks in the fastest lap time here this afternoon. She will be leading us to green here tomorrow at 3, our first playoff race ever in the Lite Series here for Season 2 of the Duracell Ultra Lite Series. Hope you guys enjoyed this qualifying session. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to part of the crew today. We show you starting lineup. We'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon at 1 for Cup Series qualifying here from Road America. 3 o'clock, it's the Lite Series race as we have a packed weekend here at the Road America road course. Until later on this weekend, whenever you join us, I've been Seth Cole, and you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of SRA TV, all flying racing at its best.
The following has been a presentation of NNSCRA TV for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of the NNSCRA is prohibited. NNSCRA would like to thank all of our loyal fans, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.